Hi guys, I keep saying stop listening to politicians and instead listen to experts, but that advice can be extended even to the Conservative Party. So John Curtis laid it out a number of times. There were two main reasons why the Tories lost the election: trust in politics and trust in the economy. Boris Johnson and Partygate cost the Conservatives 6 percentage points, while Liz Truss's mini budget eroded support by the same amount. What sealed the deal was the cost of living crisis and the NHS waiting list. Both were ignored by the Tories. But none of that is why the Tories truly lost the election, according to former chairman Richard Holden. Have a listen to this.
Let's just stick with your analysis, since you were right at the heart of it, obviously, with candidates leading up to the election. You were saying what went wrong: division, squabbling amongst yourselves. What else?
And I think that was the biggest issue that we faced was that. And I think there's also there was a desire from the public to see us having done more on, particularly on things like tackling illegal migration, which we hadn't. We had been dogged with trying to get that through the Rwanda scheme through. We had multiple legal challenges. It was proving very, very difficult. And I think there was all of those things coming together just made it very, very difficult for the Conservatives to have a cohesive message going into the general election.
No mention of the cost of living crisis, no mention of the NHS, no mention of Liz Truss's mini budget, no mention of Partygate. It's always about blaming somebody else as well. Notice here is, we were trying to get the Rwanda scheme through Parliament and we're getting dogged at every moment. Obviously somebody else's fault. Now, the longer they maintain this state of denial, the longer they'll stay out of power. And the fact that James Cleverly will not be one of the candidates running, is not one of the candidates for leadership anymore, it means that the party will double down on this idea of immigration or cultural wars or moving further to the right. There's a chance that maybe if Kemi Badenoch becomes the leader, they may move slightly back to the centre, but on the culture war, certainly not. But once again, they're living in a constant state of denial. It's always somebody else's fault that they lost, not their fault. And if it is their fault, it's because they didn't double down enough on immigration. The public didn't care that much about immigration. Some people did. The ones who voted for Reform UK probably did. But most people, most of the electorate, were concerned about the cost of living crisis. Can I feed my family? Can I pay the bills? They were worried about their mortgages if they had one. If they were renting, they were worried about whether they're going to lose their home. They were kicked out by their landlord, or the landlord would drive up the rent because they were paying a higher mortgage because of Liz Truss. They were worried about getting a GP appointment or getting a hospital appointment. These were the concerns that people had. And you did not listen to those concerns and you suffered the consequences. Surely, within the party, they understand this. Because in public, they're constantly denying this. They're constantly saying, well, there was disagreement in the party, or we should have doubled down more on immigration, or it wasn't our fault, it was somebody else's fault. I love the fact that he mentioned that there was disagreement. Yes, there was a constant psychodrama. Every week there was some constant psychodrama within the Conservative Party that was distracting the government from doing their job. The public were hoping that the government would deal with the cost of living crisis, but there was always some sort of scandal, some sort of disagreement within the party that needed to be resolved. And this took away energy that should have been focused on dealing with the problems that the public were facing. So the public decided, we're going to punish you. We'll deliver you a bloody nose. And until they actually realize this or are open about this, there's no point keeping this all behind closed doors. They have to be open about why they failed. They're going to remain in opposition. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think. As always, your comments are greatly appreciated. Thanks a lot.